What's up, guys? Danger Ranger 6988 back with another Drunk Guy Diaries. Uh, I got a little bit of a different story for you. Still another near-death experience story, but I was in the back seat of a Mitsubishi Mirage. Yeah, brand new. I think it still had the drive-out tag on it. Mitsubishi Mirage with two people in the front seat. I was in the back seat. There was a guy driving, girl passenger seat, and it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We drove up on top of this mountain and sat and talked all night. Um, Maybe been doing some recreational activities at the time, and the guy driving was splitting up with his wife they'd been together for a long time, so he was really depressed. And the whole time we're up there on top of this mountain, like probably 4 or 5 miles up on top of this dirt road mountain, and he's like, "It's her car." I forgot to mention it's her brand new car that we're in. He's like, "I should just drive this car off the mountain. I should just drive this car off the mountain." And we're all just laughing about it and everything. And so, I mean, we've been up there for hours. We got there probably midnight, and we was still there. It was probably close to 5 in the morning when we started coming back down the mountain. And I was a little bit paranoid, so I was sitting in the middle of the back seat, about the same as I was in the back bed of the truck. And I'm watching how he's driving. We're just cruising, around these little dirt roads because it's curvy, uphill, downhill. You can't see nothing when you go over those hills. So we're doing about 20 miles an hour most of the ways down the mountain. Then we get to this one long straightaway. And at that time, I'm not really paying attention. I'm like over here lighting a cigarette. So then I feel him slam the car gas, slam it a lot of gas. I raise up and I'm looking at the speedometer, and it gets up to like 50 going down this straightaway. And then I look up and there's a huge turn. Huge turn. So then nobody's wearing a seatbelt except for the driver. Imagine that. And I look up and there's this massive turn with a major drop off. And a huge tree. We're like driving straight toward this tree. Last second, still running about 50 miles an hour, he slams down the brakes. The car barely slides sideways. We go flying off of the mountain. The car hits like that and scrapes the whole side of the car off on that tree while we're in the air. Bust out both side windows. Then, I mean, it feels like we're in the air. It felt like eternity, but it was probably maybe 2 or 3 seconds. And we slammed down. There's a tree broke over. The car lands under the tree and stops with the hood shoved up under the tree. I hit the back, so I was somehow in the middle of the air. I luckily ended up behind the passenger seat. So instead of me flying through the front windshield, whenever we hit, I slammed against the passenger back seat. Man, when I landed, I shoved my foot up under the back seat, almost broke my ankle, had a major gash. We hit so hard, the back windshield exploded. I had glass all in the back of my neck. My neck hurt just from the slam. And I guess somehow when we hit that tree, or maybe when I landed, where it busted out my window, I hit my elbow on that window. It wasn't stitches wise, but I had bad scratches and burn all over my elbow. We hit, the airbags pop out and everything, and it goes pitch black. All the lights are busted. Can't even turn the inside lights on. The whole inside of the car starts filling up with smoke. The girl in the passenger seat starts flipping out, thinking that the car's about to catch on fire. And at that point, I'm just still dazed, trying to, collect my bearings. I mean, I'm just shaking my head, not saying a word. And then the driver is over there, you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't believe this. I am so sorry. And I'm just like, we need to get out of this car. And both of them are flipping out. I'm like, hey, we got to get out of this car. So then I get out, he gets out, and we're still kind of on a downhill slope. But we dropped off of probably a 40-foot, no joke, 40-foot embankment and slammed under that tree. It's probably dumb luck that tree was there that stopped us. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Either ways, so the girl in the passenger seat actually did end up breaking her foot where she hit it so hard. So we're going up out of there, and me and him is having to drag her back up this straight up mountain to get back to the road. We get up there, nobody has a phone signal, so we had to walk all the way down the road, flag down the car, get them to call 911, all that stuff. So then the cops and everybody get there, and for whatever reason, I can't remember why, they was taking D straight to the hospital, and they put, they was going to take us to the hospital, that's why. They put me and the driver in the back seat of the cop car. So the cop car goes down up the mountain, and then turns around and is coming back down the way that we was going when we crashed. And if you see our skid marks where we slid off the mountain, it's like, here's the skid marks, the tree is dead center. How we missed that tree blows my mind. I know at the last second the car kind of started sliding sideways. That's the only thing that saved our lives. If we had to hit that tree dead on, 50 miles an hour, straight down, we'd all be dead. None of us weren't, well, the driver's wearing a seatbelt. He came out of there without a scratch. The girl came out with a broken ankle, and I told you all my injuries, which I ended up having a small amount of whiplash too, but I never went to the doctor over it. I should have. I could have got some money. But yeah, that's when we was in the back seat of that cop car and drove up to the edge of the mountain, and you could see our tire tracks are pointed straight at this tree. If you go up there now, there's still a chunk of bark off the side of that tree where our car messed that tree up. So yeah, that's I think that's the end of that story. I think I dragged that one out a little bit too far. If you like it, hit that button, subscribe. Be safe. Peace out.